Hey guys, what is up? GamingBox 6 here, and today I'm gonna be doing some Team Fortress 2 stuff. I already started a playlist called Team Fortress 2. It's where I do a bunch of gameplay videos and a bunch of stuff related to Team Fortress 2. So this is my first video in this series, and for my first video, I'm gonna be showcasing all of my items that I have. So I have like 102 items, I think. So yeah, I'm going to be showing them in every single class loadout, and then I'm going to show you them in my backpack. So let's go with the scout. So with the scout, I have a force of nature, a level 2 scatter gun. I just like the force of nature better than scatter gun. So yeah, force of nature. In my personal opinion, I think that's probably like the best primary weapon for a scout. And then on my secondary, I have a bonk atomic punch. I used to use the winger, but the winger hasn't done much use to me, but the bonk atomic punch is much better. And then as my melee, I have the rap assassin. I did have the Boston Basher, but I personally don't like the Boston Basher, mostly because if you miss, if you're trying to hit someone and you miss them, then you bleed for like 5 seconds. So you like hit yourself, so that's really bad. So yeah, that's why I use the rap assassin. And then on my cosmetic items, I have the spirit of giving, and that was from Christmas, but for some reason I'm still wearing it. So I had the Professor Specs. So I just think the Professor Specs looks well, it suits really well with the scout. And then I have the tail and trotters, for my legs. And then I have the secret Saxton. And I got a bunch of this new noisemaker and all this festive stuff. They don't really do much. Mostly they're for decoration, or they actually do something. Like the spirit of giving does something. So yeah. Time for the soldier. I've got a bunch of weapons for my soldier, 24 items in my soldier. I have the direct hit, and I have the Liberty launcher, and my normal rocket launcher. I usually use the direct hit because it has a 25% damage bonus, and I just think it's slightly better than the Liberty launcher, but the direct hit is much harder to use. But sometimes I use the Liberty launcher. I think they're both kind of the same, but just the direct hit slightly better. So yeah, now I have the buff banner. This is my secondary weapon, the buff banner. I have the shotgun, and I have the man treads, and I have the righteous bison. I don't use the man treads nor the righteous bison. I mean, I used to use it, but I think the buff banner is probably the most useful out of all of the items in this inventory. So yeah. And then now I use the equalizer. I used to use the market gardener, but the equalizer, I really like that feature that the damage increases as you get injured, so that is extremely good. And this one, it's not really that good because it just deals crits while the wielder is rocket jumping, which is kind of bad if you don't know how to rocket jump. So yeah. So if you don't know how to rocket jump and you're using that weapon, then it's probably not a good idea. Yeah. Equalizer. Alright. Now for the pyro. I have the back burner. I actually got this off of a trade from someone. 100 critical hits from behind. And that's really good. Because, like, if you're trying to get someone from behind, that will do 100% critical hits, which is amazing. Yeah. I have, for my secondary weapon, I have the scorch shot. Yeah, I use the scorch shot. I don't really use the shotgun that much, maybe because the flare knocks back the target on hit. So I kind of like that. But there's a huge bad thing about the scorch shot: the 50% damage penalty. That's a lot of damage penalty. You don't see that many weapons with the 50% damage penalty. So yeah. And for my melee, I used to use the Neon Annihilator, but I use the 3rd degree now. So yeah, all players connected with via Medigun beams are hit. So yeah, it does. Yeah. And all the Neon Annihilator does is damage removes Sapra's 100 critical hit versus wet players. So all it does is do critical hits if the player is wet, and 20% less damage versus players. So yeah, I use a 3rd degree. And here's my cosmetic stuff: a bronze dueling badge. And then I have the party hat, level 10 hat, you know, I just use it. And I have the pyro vision goggles, which I got quite recently, in a chest. And I always wondered what the professor, wow, okay, don't put the professor specs on the pyro. The best thing that looks good on the pyro is the pyro vision. And I have the TF2 noisemaker birthday. I don't know why I still have that, because TF2's birthday is over, so not many people use it now. Now for the Demo Man. Now there are 2, modes for Demo Man. There's a normal Demo Man and there is a Demo Knight. I mostly use a Demo Knight instead of a Demo Man, because Demo Knight is mostly melee and Demo Man is mostly like long range. But here's my Demo Knight / Demo Man. Lock and load. I don't use a grenade launcher. I use the lock and load, 20% damage bonus, 25% projectile speed. Grenade launcher, I just don't know how to. It's just like they're pretty hard to use, but the lock and load is easy and fast. And then you may realize that there's no class for Demo Knight, because you need to make your own Demo Knight. To have a Demo Knight, you need to get a shield and you need to get a sword. So I'm going to show you what shield I have. The shield, well, I actually have lots of things for my secondary. I have the Splendid Screen, the Tide Turner, and the Scottish Resistance. The Scottish Resistance is actually really good, but I don't use it because I use a Demo Knight. This would be good for a Demo Man, but, And the Tide Turner I don't use. I use the Splendid Screen because it has much more better buffs than the Tide Turner. So, yeah. And now for my melee weapon. I think the best melee weapon, if you wanted to be a Demo Knight, would be the Cladime. I don't know how to say it. The Cladime Moore. That's probably the best weapon for a Demo Knight, because it just does the job. And yeah, and you'll know if you're a Demo Knight because you'll get this charge ability, where if you get full and you right click, you'll go super fast, even more faster than a scout. Yeah. Next we have a heavy. Okay, for the heavy, I have the Brass Beast. In my opinion, probably the best minigun for a heavy. I know it does 50% slower spin up time, 60% slower move speed while deployed, but 20% damage bonus. That is extremely good. You can get like a ton of kills with this weapon. But I wouldn't recommend it. But I wouldn't recommend using this weapon if you were going in attack. But this weapon would be good for defense. I mean, you could take down like 5 guys in front of you at once. Even a scout doesn't really stand a chance against that weapon. Now for the family business. I have the sandwich. I used to use the sandwich, but I never realized that I used it that much. But now I use the family business. I use it just in case if my minigun runs out, I can just switch over to my family business. So yeah. Now I got my strange eviction notice. I've got actually a few melee weapons. I have the killing gloves of boxing, the holiday punch, and the strange eviction notice. The strange eviction notice I really like is because it does much faster hitting, and the killing gloves of boxing 20 slow, so it's like very slow. Someone could easily take you down if you were like very slow to punch. So yeah. Engineer. I have there's actually a few more slots than all the other classes. I have the Frontier Justice as my melee. The pistol, I don't have a secondary weapon that much. All I have is a pistol. For my melee weapon, I have the Gunslinger. And for my PDA, I just have the Construction PDA. So not much for my Engineer. Medic, I'm not going to show you because all I have is all the stuff. But I do have the Strange Haunted Vampiric vesture, which I got from Halloween. So, yeah, that's the only unique thing I have about the medic. Now for the sniper, I have the Sydney Sleeper, which I got from a trade. I used to use the classic, but now I use the Sydney Sleeper. I use the Cleaner's Carbine. I'm thinking about switching to the Jarate, but I still use the Cleaner's Carbine. And I use the Bushwhacker. I think the Bushwhacker is the best melee weapon for the sniper. And I have this thing called Mr. Mundy's Wild Ride, which is kind of hilarious. It's funny, you're riding on an ostrich. And now for the spy. For the spy, I have the Ambassador and knife, just like the Invis watch, nothing much. Red tape recorder. Not much for the spy, but for some strange reason, I'm actually wearing the Pyrovision goggles, which is kind of weird. So yeah. So yeah, that's the end of this review of all of my items episode. I do have more items in my backpack, but I'm not going to show you them because this video would be way too long. So yeah, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and can you please get 20 likes on this video? And if you guys can comment, you know, if you guys like and subscribe, I'll be doing more of this, you know, TF2 stuff. So yeah, thanks for watching, and I will see you later. Goodbye!